Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Andy in Singapore. If you haven't done so, I'd like to remind you to remember to click the like and subscribe buttons because I've got new videos uploaded every week just for you. In today's video, we're going to do a review of the Citizen Promaster diver, which I unboxed last week. So this is the Fujitsubo diver, also known as the barnacle, right? Depending on which cam you're in and how you want to nickname the watch. So this is one of the Citizen Promaster's ISO rated diver series, relatively new model, came out sometime last year, and they had two colorways. I reviewed the black one a few months back, and this one, the blue dial version, blue dial, blue bezel and full metal version, this one, I really think this is the pick of the bunch because you're getting a whole lot of watch for the money you're paying for. This watch here is done in a full titanium build, and it is priced in a mid-tier category, but you are really getting lots of good materials, good execution, and a rather good movement for the price you're paying for. With the lens slightly zoom in, let's have a look at the specifications of the Fujitsubo diver. Now this is exactly the same watch as the black one that I've reviewed. So it's got a case size of 41mm, total thickness is 12.3mm. That's measuring from the base of this plain looking case back to the top of the dome sapphire crystal. We got a strap friendly lug width of 20mm, so you can definitely put rubber straps, NATOs, whatever strap that you fancy. Lug length here is very manageable, coming in at 48mm, and I think with this really nice curve on the mid case, wearability is definitely not an issue at all. Crystal size here is around 32mm. Again, I like to remind you that there's a bevel going on the edge of the crystal, so you can see as I tilt the watch head this way. Alright, this box or top hat crystal here with a bevel at the edge is giving that really nice distortion here, but as a result I think the dial sort of gets a little bit smaller. Also, take note of this really small crown here, coming in at under 5.5mm. I think it is way too small for a diver watch. Right, it's more suited for a dress watch. Offers very little real estate for grip and crown operation, but I think again this could be one of those design details to suit the vintage inspired diver look. The Fujitsubo is powered by Citizen's own in-house 9051 movement, so this is a higher beat movement coming in at 28.8k beats per minute, and again I feel that this movement here, I would place it slightly above Seiko's 6R based movement. Now comes the most important part, alright. For me, I think the main draw of this watch, this version, this colorway, is the fact that it weighs only 111 grams. Alright, so take a moment to sink in that information, right? 111 grams, full metal version, bracelet is still unsized. So if I were to size this one, I believe it's going to shave off another 10 to 15 grams, making this one even lighter than many Seiko divers on rubber straps. I think this is a joy to wear. And finally, onto the street price of the watch. The Fujitsubo full bracelet version typically goes for around 1,100 Singapore dollars. You can definitely get this one from our boutique, and this is where the watch was loaned from. Thank you very much, Eric, for so generously loaning me all the watches for my video reviews. Let's now talk about the case design and overall build quality. So same as the review that I gave for the black dial version, I would say that the level of build quality and finishing, I think it is definitely adequate for this price point. So this is a mid-tier diver. This is going for around 1,100 Singapore dollars, and we are getting very decent brushing on this titanium case and bracelet. So I love the fact that Citizen has added Duratec coating, and I'm sure there's a greater degree of scratch resistance on the Fujitsubo. So Citizen officially calls this one Super Titanium with Duratec. So that's the name given to their proprietary coating, and it still has that slightly dull look to it. Okay, so it's a bit different from stainless steel where it gives off a bit more bling bling, a bit more shine and sheen to it. This one here has that slightly dull look, but it is not as bad as the cheaper titanium watches whereby you get that blasted beat blasted kind of look that looks really dark and very dull. If there's one thing I dislike about this titanium material or the coating is that it is very much a smudge magnet. Okay, so on my left hand I'm wearing this glove here, but if I run my right hand all over the watch here on the watch case, you can see it's starting to get cloudy from the fingerprints and all that. So I'm not too sure if this is inherent with the coating or the material itself. This watch is definitely a smudge magnet. The bezel action here is very spongy. Feels like a toy actually. This could be due to the material used on this bezel. Alright, so maybe titanium gives off this very sloppy bezel clicking feel to it, and I'm not a big fan of this bezel action, to be honest. Let's have a look at the clasp of this bracelet. Alright, so this one here I think it's pretty interesting. At first it looks like the usual trigger button and safety lock kind of clasp here, but if you take a look at this quick release, or rather quick diverse extension here, it's rather interesting. So you push these two tabs here, so you can get a quick adjustment or extension over your wetsuit or your dive equipment. I think this is quite a cool feature to have. Alright, again, it's not the best, alright, so this quick release is cool, but it also comes in a little bit flimsy or rattly. Not too sure if you can hear how loud the rattling is. Let me just stop talking. Alright, so the overall execution over here in terms of quality I think is still lacking, because this diverse extension here just feels a little bit too rattly, a little bit too noisy. And perhaps due to the diverse extension, we don't get any micro adjust dots on the clasp itself, but we are getting half links, alright, on either side of the buckle or clasp. Okay, so have a look here. We've got half links, and I think this is a really good design feature by Citizen when it comes to bracelet sizing. Let's move on now and talk a little bit on the dial design as well as the overall color combination on this watch. Again, I have to remind you, this is my pick of the bunch. In terms of Fujitsubo models, so far they have 2 or 3 models already, and this is definitely my pick. This shade of blue here, right, it's not overpowering, doesn't look cheap. At the same time, you know, it gives off that little bit of sheen on the dial, and I really love this look here. Alright, so this is a nice change from the usual black dial, boring black dial divers, and I love this look here. At various angles to the light, you are getting a different shade of blue, from electric blue here to a more sober shade of blue, and I really love this overall dial color. Other design features on this dial here remains very simple. Again, I think this is in line with the vintage diver styling. Nothing here is overly fanciful, no crazy looking blocky diver hands, no crazy looking crown guards, nothing of the sort, nothing radical. Very simple design, simple lines, clean lines and all that. We've got this semi-skeletonized hands. If you look at the hour hand over here, sort of a Mercedes, and the stem or the main section of the arm or the hand here is some sort of a skeletonized thing. Alright, I'm not a big fan of this, okay, because from afar it looks like the hour hand is actually floating and doesn't look very good to me. But I think in terms of vintage styling, it probably fits the overall design theme. Let's check out the lume on the Citizen Fujitsubo. You can see here that this lume is right up there. Alright, same standard, same brightness, same level of brightness as Seiko Lume Bright. This bevel here on the crystal is giving the lume just this very special look over here. Alright, at various angles it looks like there's something special going on, but this is due to the reflection on the bevel here on the edge of the crystal. Overall, I think this is a really nice lume application by Citizen. Zooming back out for a fake reshot of the Fujitsubo on bracelet. You can see over here on my wrist, which is not a very big wrist, 17 centimeters, I think this one here fits really well. Even though it's got a slightly longer L to L measurement, 48 millimeters, it is made worse by this male end link over here. Protrudes slightly, but at the end of the day, I don't think there is a very bad lug overhang or lug gap. Everything here fits really well. I'm pretty sure that after resizing the bracelet, the wearability and fit would be perfect. And now let's have a really quick size comparison between the Citizen Fujitsubo and the BB58. So both watches, they're in the same category, vintage style diver, no crown guard, thinner profile overall. And here you can see that they are really similar in terms of dimension. Alright, so of course the BB58 looks more handsome, you can't deny that. But I give credits to the Citizen because it looks really good for this price range, and this blue color here is really nice. So I think to sum up my thoughts on the Fujitsubo, this is exactly the same feeling that I get when I review the black dial version. The Fujitsubo is definitely one of the best value for money divers out there in the mid-tier category market, because you're really getting a host of features, useful features. Alright, so this is like a coated titanium case, lightweight. You can wear this watch on full bracelet configuration. It comes in at around 110 grams. This is very light for a full bracelet dive watch. And I'm also sure that the movement here, the high beat movement here, is definitely more accurate than many 6R or 4R based Seiko movements out there. So for this price range, this price category, you are really getting a lot of watch for the money when it comes to the Fujitsubo. So there you have it. That was my second review of the Fujitsubo diver from Citizen. Great value for money dive watch. If you like this video, if you like this watch, please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. This is George, Pixie, Rolly Polly together with me, Andy, in Singapore. We'll see you next week for more watch review videos. Bye bye.